the National Latino Evangelical Coalition is launching its Nuestro Futuro campaign, which is a national campaign to register new Hispanic evangelical voters, particularly young Latinos and Latinas.
The latest census figures have us at more than 54 million. That puts us at about 16% of the population. But as a starting point, while those numbers are massive, we know that we are a young and a heavily immigrant population.
There are 10 million Latino evangelicals in the United States. 10 million. It's time to move from the margins to the center of the discourse of this country. We will be silent no more.
I think that 2012 is going to be a real challenge for both parties. For any candidate to ignore Hispanic evangelicals in any presidential election, they do so at their peril. Because the young Latino evangelicals are voting age and are becoming increasingly engaged civically and politically.
When you look at the battleground states that are critical for anyone to get elected, to get to that magic number of 270 electoral votes, you cannot do it without the Latino community in key states like Florida, like Colorado, like Nevada, like New Mexico. Those are all states where the Latino electorate is above 10%, and the growing evangelical population within the Latino community is kind of exploding within each one of those states as well.
For us, the role of faith is central to our national campaign. We take seriously Matthew 25 is a framing narrative for us. For I was hungry and you fed me, naked and you clothed me, in prison and you visited me. I was a stranger and you welcomed me.
I think faith leaders need to make sure that people understand that there are concerns that need to be addressed, concerns around justice and economic inequity. I'd like to think that faith leaders in their capacity would simply encourage their members, their congregants, to be engaged in the process.
Protecting poverty-focused programs, advocating for immigration reform now, particularly the DREAM Act, and advocating for educational equity, that a young person's zip code should not determine their educational access and achievement. Those are our three things. We call them our PIE initiatives: poverty, immigration reform, and education.
Immigration is not a Hispanic issue. It's an American issue. It's not a political issue. It's a moral issue.
Very often we're talking about families that are being torn apart, people who want nothing more than to be contributing and effectively productive members of the larger community in which they are a part. Of course it's moral to echo that sentiment, and I dare say that it's less than moral not to.
The Democratic Party has not declared a war on Hispanics, which seems to be the method and the message that is coming out of a lot of candidates. Not all of them, I mean, that's fair to say, but the reality is that others are not and have said that they would get rid of programs that benefit Latinos.
I want the change that Obama promised. I'm voting for change, I'm voting for Newt Gingrich. His approach is, let's not separate family. Let's not just send everybody out. Let's go ahead and help these people. Let's have them have the opportunity to become someone in this country, become a citizen, become a resident. But let's close the borders.
The party that shows real commitment, much more than rhetoric and much more than just saying we like you, but is showing real legislative muscle behind the things that are important to us, I think at the end of the day they will hear the affirmation of Hispanic evangelicals.